Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And if you guys, there's another movie review. Today we're tackling the newest Disney film, Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, of course, I believe the latest Pixar film was Soul, which is on Disney+. Haven't seen it yet. Raya is also on Disney+. I'm not sure if you have to pay $30 or if it's free, but I saw it today in theaters. And let me just say that, after seeing Sonic and then taking over more than a year off, seeing Cruella, great film, go watch it, my review for that as well. So yeah, today's Raya and the Last Dragon, which is the latest Disney film. Now, of course, Disney, this sort of umbrella was like Tangled, Frozen, Frozen 2, Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Zootopia, Big Hero 6, and now, of course, Raya, if I'm remembering all of them. And, the franchise kind of hit and miss. I didn't see Tangled. I didn't really like Frozen. I really enjoyed Frozen 2. I liked Wreck-It Ralph 1 and 2. I liked Zootopia, Moana, all that stuff. So really it was just Frozen. That kind of, was like, it's overrated. But other than that, I do think that this film is definitely a departure from Frozen. Or any of them, really. Because, Big Hero 6 has action moments. But it's a superhero Marvel Disney film. So of course it's gonna. But, this movie, kind of Raya, right off the bat, it's got great action. And it's not a kid's film. There was a little kid in the theater. She was maybe 3, 4, 5, whatever. And she was just talking the whole time. She didn't know what the F was going on. She didn't care. Because she's a kid. Kids, they see colors and lights and pretty colors. And they go, wow, But, older kids, 10, 11, 12. And, of course, I'm 22. And that leads on to my first negative. There is a lot of information in this film. It's what I kind of consider to be Frozen 2-itis, right? Frozen 1 didn't really have a good story. It was just there. Frozen 2 had a really good story, but it was hidden behind a lot of crap that you had to kind of, mathematically take apart and dissect. You know what I mean? Because when I saw it with my mom, whenever that came out last year or 2 years ago, I enjoyed it. But my mom was like, I don't understand what that movie was about. Because there's a lot of... And she's not stupid, but there's a lot of different plot points in this film from what I can remember about Frozen 2 that kind of made it a little bit confusing. And this movie can be the same exact way, Raya. If you're not paying attention, within literally the first 10 minutes of that film, it kind of throws up exposition and lore and different details about the new canon that they've established within the Raya world. It can get very confusing and kind of, nuts, because, you got the dragons, you got the blue orb, you got the different tribes that are named after a dragon, like Heart, Spine, Fang, all that stuff. And, it can get convoluted, it can get kind of scary, kind of messy, and kind of, a little bit hard to piece together. It's not necessarily a negative for me, but I can see how some people, especially children, could get kind of, confused. And really, like I said, this is not a kid's film. It's an animated film. It's meant for all ages. And specifically, I think with Raya and the Last Dragon, it's made for older kids, basically 12, 13, teenagers and up. Because, again, it's got a lot of action, very well choreographed action, but it is violent. It's not Tangled, it's not Frozen, where they're singing about dating and, all that. It's an action film. And, it's not pulling its punches. It's not, brutal, but, people get shot with arrows, they get punched, kicked, thrown off. It's not it's not for little kids. But, the action's great. I do think it's really nice. The animation is effing beautiful. It's fantastic. Really, really good. It's probably the best Disney that's ever, and I feel like, I'm like, dude, you can't beat Frozen 2 animation for Disney. And then, they said F it with Raya, and they were like, we'll do it, we'll up it. And they did a good job. The animation's spectacular. The way Raya and Namari, the villain, the way that they animate, the Droon, or I think it's called Droon, the big kind of like Overlord, if you know the Overlord from Season 2 of Ninjago, like that purple and black kind of orb. They're kind of like that, the Droon is kind of destroying everywhere, and, it's kind of freaky. But, like I said, my first negative would be that it's a little bit kind of all over the place. Not a big negative, but again, you do need to be paying attention. The second would be the comedy. I think that Sisu, the dragon, whenever she's a dragon, a water dragon, or the human form, a few of her jokes land. She's mainly the comedic relief, which I figured from the trailer. And it's not kid humor. It's not like they're making poop jokes the whole time. Most of the jokes are, all ages jokes. Everyone can laugh, but some of them are a little bit hit and miss, and that's the biggest negative, is that some jokes in this film, they don't land. And they expected it to land, because there's a pause or a beat after the joke. And Sisu says something dumb, like, oh, nice place you got here, or, toot butt, or that bug's got a nice booty, something like that. And some of the jokes are funny, but most of them I just kind of, literally, I smiled, because, the relationship between Raya and Sisu is really good. You know, it's like a buddy comedy film. It's like SpongeBob and Patrick, Mordecai Rigby, Finn, Jake, whatever. But then, of course, you know, seeing this and some of the jokes, I literally was like, that's what I did. I just sat there, you know what I mean? And I'm supposed to go, ha! You know, I'm supposed to laugh and be like, damn, that's funny, you know, good job, Disney, you made me laugh. But instead, I'm just sitting there like, man, that didn't land at all. So some of the jokes, at least, you know, for me, comedy is subjective, you know. An adult might find a poop joke funny. Adult joke might find saying the F word funny. It just depends, you know what I mean? Everyone has a different sense of humor. And this sometimes didn't do it for me. But that's about it. You know, the animation is great. The voice acting, Kelly Marie Tran, who, of course, is, I believe she's singing now. She had a little music video. But, of course, Rose Tico in Star Wars The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and, of course, you know, comic books and all that. But, you know, actually, Kelly Marie Tran being in those films. Not only do I think that Rose Tico in the sequels is one of the best Star Wars characters of all time, she's also massively underrated. And the fact that the Star Wars fans, or I'm just going to call them the fake fans, because that's what they are. Real fans don't harass actors off of social media. And like Jar Jar Binks, like young Anakin, like Rey, like frickin' Rose, they all got bullied off of social media. And, you know, those people can go die in a fire. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that she bounced back from the hatred that was The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. And again, I love her in those movies. She's great. She's fantastic. But going into, you know, instead of being like Jake Lloyd, who went to effing prison, you know, she was like, you know what, I'm going to make something out of this. And she did a great job voicing Raya. She really, really did. She, you know, not only did the animation of her face, you know, she also looks neat, but, you know, she's hot. But one of the also kind of things about her face is that she has a lot of these different emotions. And, of course, this goes into the animation, but the emotions that Raya gives and the voice acting really, really does a good job. And that really sells it. You know, I mean, I am what I like to think is unpaid, uncredited voice actor. I can do close to 50 voices, and hopefully one day I'll be a voice actor, who knows. But basically, she does a good job of portraying a character that, you know, sometimes it is hard to go from acting to voice acting, because it is different. You know, you're just reading off a page. But she did a good job. You know, everyone else did too. I think Namari, the villain, was a really good job. And going back to that, my first negative, this is actually a plus, turning that negative into a plus. There's a lot of elements in this film that kind of, like The Last Jedi, like Joker, they kind of focus on a lot of different themes and messages. You know, there's themes of hurt and sorrow and loss and greed and hope and trust. That's 6 right there that are in this film. This baby kid film, you know what I mean? And, that's sarcasm. But, you know, it really, really was. It's a lot to unpack, you know what I mean? It's a lot to kind of look at and go, wow, okay. You know, there are scenes where, yes, there's comedic relief with Sisu and with characters, you know. But there's also moments where they just reflect on the death of their family. Or there's an intense fight scene and people get kicked and knocked down, or people get shot, you know. It's a very mature Disney film. And every Disney movie is mature in some degree. But this one felt specifically like that because of the themes they tackled. You know what I mean? It wasn't just be yourself, or, you know, you're special, or you're gonna do great. You know, it was really like, there's a lot of, it's, you know, it's like The Last Jedi. There's a lot of heavy themes in that film that are same with Raya, and I think they executed them pretty freaking well. And again, you know, going back to the animation, when I first saw, you know, the first scene of Raya on that tuk-tuk, or little beetle buggy, or like potato bug looking thing, I mean, I thought it was live action. You know what I mean? The dirt and the snow and the green and the greenery and the grass and the leaves, everything looks so authentic and so real. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine animation in 2031? You know what I mean? It's gonna look like freaking live action. You know, even more. You know, it's crazy. But again, I really enjoyed Raya and The Last Dragon. You know, I expected it to be good. I was kind of nervous, you know, is Sisu going to ruin it? You know, because she seemed like the kind of jokey person. And, you know, one of my issues with, what's that freaking movie with the, like the monster movie by Laika with the Zach Pakalakis. Damn it, what's his name? The one dude that is in the Lego Batman movie. He voiced Joker. He's in that film, like Sasquatch or some kind of like Loch Ness Monster or whatever. The jokes in that film, if you know what I'm even effing talking about, you know, the guy will say something funny and it'll like linger on him. You know what I mean? Or it'll be like a long beat and we're expected to laugh. And sometimes I didn't laugh in that film. You know, and Sisu has the same type of comedy. She'll draw out her jokes and she'll keep talking and expecting us to be like on a laughing fit on the friggin' floor. But instead I'm sitting there in my seat like, man, is the movie going? You know, let's go. But other than that, and it can be a little bit confusing for everyone, really, if you're not paying attention. I enjoy it. You know, the action scenes are great. The story's great. This is one of, I think, out of every Disney film, this has the best story. Out of anyone, any of the Disney, that, you know, the new, from Tangled up until this one, it's the best. You know, there's a lot of, I can see making 2, 3, I can see a whole franchise out of this film, you know what I mean? They made Frozen 2 because the first one did so well, but Raya deserves a sequel because of the world building and the lore and the canon that they did, you know, kind of set up. We really do need another one. So again, I do recommend seeing this film. You know, I really did enjoy it. Again, a few negatives here or there, but I'm going to give Raya and the Last Dragon probably a B+. I was going to give it an A-, but some of the jokes really, I just kind of sat there not doing anything, and that's kind of bad, you know. It's not like one joke. There were like a handful of jokes that I were like, this is kind of weird, you know. But other than that, I enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. I will be buying it on Blu-ray and unboxing it whenever it comes out on Blu-ray. I enjoyed it, you know what I mean? It was a good experience to see in the film, in the theater, and hopefully soon we'll be, you know, now that I'm kind of getting used to going back to the theater, hopefully I'll be able to see more films. Anyway, tell me what you thought without spoiling it in the comments, because again, as you know, some people read the comments first without seeing the film for some reason. But again, if you have seen it, tell me your spoiler-free review of Raya and the Last Dragon. Thank you guys. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Disney. I don't think Disney can make a bad film. You know, there's some that I prefer over others, but you know, when I really think at it, all the Disney films that I've seen, I can't think of any that are like downright horrible. You know what I mean? Because it's Disney. Like, they pride themselves, kind of like Lego. They pride themselves in making quality content for everyone, and that's what I think they're going to keep on doing. And hopefully they'll make Raya 2. Because, man, I'm super duper excited to see if they make another one. Because, man, this was a great movie with a great story. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.